Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. This is your host, Taylor, and today is a super special episode, unlike one I think I've ever done before. Today, I have got my partner, Zach, with me, and he's going to be answering some of y'all's questions. So we're very excited about this. Y'all asked a lot more questions than we had anticipated, and some very, very good questions. So I don't know where this is going to go. It hurts for me to talk right now because my body is kind of falling apart. So Zach has been super helpful and sweet and helping to take care of me while I'm falling apart. But yeah, so Zach, how do you feel going into this?
I feel good. This is my second podcast.
Yeah, second podcast. With me?
Uh-huh. I've been on a few other podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
I think I told you.
Not your second one with me. This is your first
the Bachelorette one.
Oh, yeah. Zach did do like a Patreon episode with me recapping Bachelorette. Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay.
And now we get to talk about it. That's my favorite catchphrase. Let's talk about it.
Always.
Every conversation, let's talk about it.
It really is.
It's a good name for a podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it made sense. So there's a lot of questions here, and Zach has kind of looked over the questions, but he doesn't know which order I'm going to ask in or what question I'm going to ask when I ask it. This feels fun. I feel sneaky. Okay. First question. What nationality are you?
Well, I am Canadian, but my ethnicity is Palestinian, Jordanian mix, and then on my mom's side, I'm Dutch. Mm-hmm. And that goes back through to like a couple of countries in Europe, like Germany and England and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, there were like several kind of iterations of this question of what's your ethnicity / religion, where are you from, all those questions.
Well, religion, I'm pretty agnostic. I think that there's like a higher power out there, something more spiritual, but I'm not necessarily religious at all. And yeah, I'm from Canada, born and raised in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
So I work at a management consulting firm, and for the last 5 years I've done consulting or some variation of consulting. And the focus of the consulting that I've done is in a section called design thinking, which is about helping people who are actually facing these problems come up with the solutions to their own issues. And yeah, that involves doing focus groups, building prototypes, testing it with whoever is the problem haver, and then developing a solution around that.
But now,
yeah, I'm just switching jobs, and I'm going to be working with a venture capital company on building up their accelerator and working with founders who are looking to start their businesses.
Yeah. Community development. That's your jam. Mm-hmm. You love connecting people.
Yeah.
This question came up so much. Do you know what question it is already?
What's my favorite thing about Taylor?
Oh my God, I can't laugh. It hurts to laugh. Oh my God, my muscles hate me right now. What's his favorite thing about you? What's your favorite quality about Taylor? Favorite thing about yourself and favorite thing about Tay. Yeah. Many iterations of that. Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite thing?
My one favorite thing?
Or
there's so many.
I mean, you can go. I mean, I'm listening.
Well, I think if I can root it down to one thing, I think it's your authenticity. I think that, you approach any situation as yourself, like your full self. And I've never known you to be one to filter. I've never known you to be one to kind of like beat around the bush with what you're saying or what you're thinking. And you always show up as who you are. And that is like the collection of your experiences. And that's the collection of your learnings and your knowledge. And you always bring that one Taylor to any situation. And I love that about you, because it does make for some very funny conversations.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it's always real and it's always genuine, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yes. And there were questions like on that piece as well. Gosh, where do I find it? Well, we'll get to that when we get to it. There was a question down here that I just saw. Do you have single brothers?
Yeah, I have one single brother in Toronto.
Other one's taken. Okay.
I will matchmake though, if it's a good fit.
Will you?
Send me your profile on Instagram.
I like this one. What are the ways that Taylor shows up for you, big and small?
Well, I think like a small one is acts of service. Is making sure I'm hydrated through my work day.
Gotta be hydrated.
Yeah, gotta stay hydrated. I mean, I like physical touch, and we have that chemistry, that that sexual chemistry, that romantic chemistry, and I think you show up for me that way. In bigger ways, I mean, you're always so willing to support, right? Like just with this job switch, you're quick to support me with whatever that means. Like I could do this job in Seattle or LA or Vancouver, Toronto, or whatever it is, but you're just so open to supporting me with my professional ambitions and kind of like going wherever is necessary. And I think that support means a lot to me. Yeah. And it's big.
Big support.
Big support.
Have you dated a person of color before? This is something I asked you like when we very first started talking.
Yeah, I've dated many people of color, like with multiple ethnicities, Lebanese, Malaysian, like Black American, mixed with like white Canadian. And I guess it also depends on what dating means these days. Like,
I think more than just fuck. More than just fuck.
Yeah, then I've dated 3 people of color. Yeah.
Have you dated?
And Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4.
Yeah. Have you dated an American before?
Never an American. I've not dated an American. You're the first.
The biggest handful. What is the biggest difference you're noticing living in the U.S. and not Canada? Not to say that you are living in the U.S., but like you've been here for a minute right now. So I think that's what they're referring to.
Yeah, just being here.
Yeah.
I think, well, I don't know. I think the world was less different before COVID. I think there weren't as many differences. Well, maybe I take that back.
You take it back. I mean, you think
politically, I think there was differences, but the idea was the same. And I think it's not just before COVID. I think it's like before Trump too. Before Trump and before COVID, Canada and the United States weren't that different. I mean, I would go to New York, I'd go to LA, visit friends all around the US, and the differences weren't that stark. I also did Habitat for Humanity, went to Georgia, went to Texas, went to Florida.
How much did you love those areas?
Well, I loved him. I did like him, actually. This was probably like 7 years ago.
Pre-Trump, pre-just overt racism, too.
Yeah. Everyone was just... There seemed to be more cohesiveness. But now definitely, because of this last president, a lot of division. And I think there's a lot of polarity now. And in Canada, there's some of that. Some Quebecers, they still want to leave Canada, and they have their own grudges. But, I think the fabric of society is pretty cohesive in Canada. And people are willing to kind of, I guess, limit their freedom, if I was to say. Put it, sum it up in a word. For a greater good, exactly. Yeah. So that greater good exists.
Definitely.
But, that's kind of my take.
Yeah. Did you like cats before Lily? I like this question.
Yeah, I did. So I've actually grown up with cats in my life, I had one cat named Callie. She was in the family for like 10 years. And then she passed away, and then we got 2 cats. And then one of those cats was named Lily, crazy enough. The other one's named Harvey.
And that was one of the first things that, you told me when we met. And I was like, oh my God, why do you have a cat named Lily too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small world. It
was a moment. You don't even know what was going on in my head. Number one reason for veganism. There's plenty of reasons, but what's your number one?
Yeah, I think my number one reason was always health. I made the switch 3 years ago, probably 3.5 years ago. And it was because of these chronic health issues in my dad's side with stroke and heart disease and diabetes. So essentially I looked up, how could I live a healthy, long life in old age, an active life too, and what was the best diet to support that? And veganism and vegetarianism kind of just kept popping up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut out meat. I'm gonna cut out meat, cold tofu, and just not touch the stuff. And it was hard, because I was such a carnivore.
Yeah, you were eating a shit ton of eggs, you told me beforehand. I was like, oh, that sounds gross.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
But I would say health is the number one reason for going vegan.
Well, on that note, what meal do you make if trying to make a good first impression?
I would always opt for the green curry, the Thai green curry.
Okay, okay. I was expecting you to say stir fry.
Stir fry is I think green curry is one level above.
It's a slightly fancier stir fry.
Exactly. It's different. It's unique.
Yeah. How do you get your beard so perfect?
I trim it. Trim and shave. That's it. You got to shave the top along the line and then just trim the bottom.
One thing that attracted you to Tay?
I mean, I think of first, reflecting on it, my first impression of you is probably your smile. And I think you had such a big, beaming smile. And, we were in this... What?
Yeah, because I was so scared of you.
Yeah, maybe it was a nervous smile, but I liked it. It
was literally oh my God, don't talk to me, go away. What's he doing? He's too hot. I was like, he's hot.
Yeah, I think it was a smile. It was just very.
I was cheesing.
You're cheesing. Wide mouth smile, just looking so happy, so cute. And I was like, oh my God, this girl's so damn hot, and I love her smile, and I want to just talk to her all evening. So I think it was also the openness to talk and just chat, because we probably talked 5 hours at night. So
yeah.
So I guess just your openness and how cute you are.
I'm gonna cry. Similar. What did you think when you first met Taylor? Let's see. Experience seeing Taylor's posts about you prior to making things official, sharing who you were, has being within Taylor's influencer spotlight changed anything for you? If yes, what?
Has anything changed for me? Well, I have probably 2,000 more followers. Shout out to those 2,000.
Shout out to these dedicated people.
Yeah. Appreciate my fans.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. I don't think anything's really changed for me. Well, being in Seattle, I guess.
That's but like how...
For influencer.
Yeah, it's like your experience seeing my posts about you prior to us being official.
Oh, my experience.
You always knew. Like it's like a 2-part question, same person.
Oh, okay.
But like before I would post anything that was about you, I let you know.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I got the name Toe Thumb Guy. Which I'm happy
so surprised that you even said it. Because you hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite nickname. But like I don't think life has changed too much, right?
No, I mean, I think when I like back last December and stuff, when I was like in your office space, I think that was different for you because people kind of knew and all of that.
I guess a lot of my friends do know who you are. And do watch The Bachelor. So
yeah. This is a fun question.
Let's hear it.
When did you know you were in love with Taylor?
Ooh. That's a fun one.
That's a big one. Which you've already told me somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, forget this shit because I need to hear it like over and over and over. And then I fully remember.
Yeah. Well, it's important to kind of reiterate it. I knew I fell in love with you when we were actually near Alki Beach, and we're sitting on the concrete. I don't know. We like hop the fence. I don't know how to describe it, but it's near the ocean, near the Sound.
Yeah, where you see Mount Rainier to your left and the Olympics to your right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just sitting down, hanging out, and it was pretty cool, but it was in the summer, and we were just hanging out, having a good time, looking at the sunset, and I was like, wow, I really love doing this with you. And it was such a small, simple thing, and we were just chatting and having a good time.
It's my mom. My mom wants to know all this. Mom, you're cock blocking. Okay.
Sorry, Crystal.
Yeah. Keep going. Cock blocking my romantic moment.
Yeah. So essentially, I was just sitting there with you, and we had such a great day, and I wanted to have more days like that with you. And you've just been always so caring up until that point, and I was like, wow, I think I love this girl. And then went away back to Toronto and just definitely felt it while away, but didn't really want to say it on the phone. So
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and then said it in August when I came here to see you again.
Yeah.
Was it October? August, because then I went back again, then came back again.
Yeah. Yeah. Aww.
How about you? When did you know you loved me?
Literally when I saw you.
Love at first sight.
No, literally, like, when we first talked afterwards, I was still in a relationship. At the very end of it, it literally was already crashing and burning. And we did have, like, layers of openness in that. And so I went back and told him, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, I just met this guy. I think he wanted to make out with me. It's like, I think he wants to kiss me. And I, like, listed off, like, all these things about you. I was like, wow, he was so handsome. And he was tall. And he has a cat named Lily. And he's vegan. And he doesn't drink. And he was, like, so warm and just, like, genuine. And he's, like, interested in, like, different kinds of relationships. And, like, he really likes plants. And, like, I said all this. And, like, his first response was, like, well, good for you. Sounds like you, like, you know, met your next boyfriend. Or it sounds like you, like, found, you know, Mr. Perfect. Or, like, guess you found your husband. Something. Oh, you sounds like you're, like, already in love with something. And I was like, no, but, like, I just think he's really great. And so I think, like, he was, like, projecting. But at the same time, I was like, he probably was picking up what I actually was thinking, but hadn't, like, connected it yet. But no, yeah, I for sure was, like, already so obsessed with you from, like, the first day hanging out. That's why I ran away from you at camp.
You did.
Yeah.
Couldn't find you.
I know. I was scared. I was scared of you.
You definitely would have made out.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, we're going to take a short break right here. I want to remind all of you lovely listeners that we have an amazing sponsor of the podcast, BetterHelp. And I want us all to kind of check in with our mental and emotional states right now and just kind of check in and see how you're doing. Are you feeling satisfied? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling like you could use a little bit of extra support or that you need help? Either one is totally okay, and there's no shame in it whatsoever. And for those of you who haven't heard me talk about BetterHelp before, it's an online professional counseling service. So not a crisis line, not self-help. It is legitimate online professional counseling from licensed therapists. And in fact, they've actually had so many people using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So this little check-in here is for not only those who are wanting or needing support, but those who can also offer it. So I really want to encourage y'all to check out BetterHelp. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/talkaboutit. You can join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/talkaboutit. So be sure to check them out and take advantage of this little discount because I know sometimes therapy does not always feel affordable. So I'm super happy to partner with BetterHelp and to offer this lovely, lovely discount for y'all. So with all of that said, we can now get back to the show. So another question that we have here is, what do you think about having so much of your relationship in the public sphere?
It's definitely different.
It's a new one.
It's a new one. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't think it delegitimizes anything or like makes it less authentic. And I think, like, you know, it plays into what I like about you, which is your authenticity. And I think you sharing that with your followers and the people in your life, even if it's on a public medium, is totally fine for me. I mean, there are some moments where we're just like, you know, not for Instagram, but
and
we keep those for ourselves. 2021.
Who knows? Who knows what 2021 is going to bring?
No.
Oh, I can't laugh. It hurts so bad. I need my heating pad.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I was going to say something on that and I forgot because it hurt to laugh. Another question of, what do you think of Vanessa and Josh?
I think they're adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're a great couple. Met them both, got a chance to hang out with them, and you can tell Josh and Vanessa are so in love with each other. So it's amazing to see them get engaged and get married soon. So, which,
you know, the day that you like asked me to be, that you said you wanted to like commit, essentially, was the day that they got engaged.
Was it?
Yeah. When you went out to the mountain and we had our solo days apart, and then when you came back and you were like, yeah. I was like, oh, did you have any, you know, life revelations up there at the mountain? I was like kind of being sarcastic, but then you were like, yeah, I did. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay, you want to talk about it? You're like, yeah, we can later. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when you said it. But yeah, that day, that was the day that they got engaged.
Wow. Well, you're soul sisters, you and Vanessa. So
we are.
That makes total sense.
And on that note, what made him decide he wanted more commitment after having a sexual relationship? I know some people waiting for this answer from you too. We can always pass.
I don't want to pass. We don't have to pass on that. I think it was a mutual thing. I mean, feelings develop and, you know, emotions develop. And I think, you know, it's not, I think we both wanted something more.
We're trying on different like time frames.
Yeah, initially we were on different
like January, I was like, pull up.
Yeah,
and
maybe
January,
also
you were like,
maybe
now?
September. We pull up.
In September, I pulled up. September, you
Fireside.
pulled up.
No,
you pulled up
that's
at Fireside. You're like, hey, girl, where you at? And I was like, ah.
You're like, oh, run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had not pulled up.
Well,
January,
you pulled up in January.
I pulled up, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think...
I told you could have passed.
I could have passed.
You said,
Well, no, I think timing for sure.
Yeah.
Like around January, you wanted to date, and then I also wanted to remain open, but still see each other.
But not, I think there's like commitment to like an actual relationship and then not just being sexual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's a difference there. And I think we both still wanted a sexual relationship. We both had like emotional feelings for each other, Definitely. But we were on different time frames of wanting to commit to that.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. And then come June, right? Mm-hmm. I think timelines aligned, and it was just such an amazing experience being here with you and being in Seattle with you, and I wanted more, and I wanted what you wanted as well, which is a deeper relationship. So that's how we're here right now.
Yeah. I don't think you liked our distance in March either. I think you missed me.
I did miss you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I missed you a lot.
I missed you too. Yeah, I did. And next question, favorite thing about Seattle?
I think it's all the nature that's around this city. It's so beautiful. Like you can walk 20 minutes and you're at the Sound, or you can walk, 20 minutes up the hill and you're at this beautiful park overlooking the Space Needle, and it's just so scenic.
Cary Park?
Yeah. And then Mount Rainier is so close by, and I want to climb her.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's my goal.
You trying to get real intimate with Rainier?
Mm-hmm. I want to be all over her.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked, what was really on Taylor's pants?
What was really on Taylor's pants?
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
Babe, you put it on your story.
Oh!
So for those that don't follow Zach, mistake, first off. But second off, he shared a story of me on election night in my sweatpants and wild hair. And I had like a giant wet spot on my crotch.
Yeah. That was from the water on my hair.
Babe, I'll leave it at literally that. Just flew out of my nose. Yeah. Yep. He said, I don't believe she peed her pants equal.
Well, you should believe it. It could happen.
It could, but I did not. Do you want kids?
I'm undecided on kids at the moment. I think they're great.
You're like really great with kids. Naya loves you.
Yeah, I love being around kids.
Fellow Palestinian here. How in touch are you with your mixed heritage?
It's a good question. I mean, when I grew up, actually, my Palestinian heritage and culture was kind of like what I was closest to. Growing up with my cousins and my uncle and my aunts on my dad's side, we'd celebrate, all the major holidays with them. A lot of the food would be Middle Eastern when we go to their house. They're Muslim, so while I wouldn't observe, the traditions, they do, and celebrate, eat together, and that kind of stuff. So I even tried fasting for 2 years, and it was hard. Yeah. When I was in grade 6, it was tough. Yeah. So I was growing up. When I was growing up, I was in touch with that side more so than I am now, and now I'm trying to kind of get reconnected to it. And I think I'm going to do that by having a little pilgrimage with the Hebea brothers and going from Monaco to Jordan to Palestine. Yeah. Maybe Dubai.
But like, when?
After COVID, of course. Of course. You got to be safe.
We'll see. Do you think Lily loves you more than Taylor does?
I think these days she does because I feed her in the morning.
More than I love you?
More than you love me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Do you think Lily loves you more than I do? More than Taylor
does? No. I totally misheard that question. I thought it was if Lily loved me more than you.
No.
Okay. No, I think you love me more.
Okay, good. Yeah, because Lily still loves me. Oh, wow. Do you feel, as a Canadian, quote, like you live above a meth lab, a.k.a. above the United States? Damn.
That's a good name.
Yeah, that's intense. A lot of people have had questions on this. So please tell me about the quarantine process in Canada. I'm going next week for 6 days. People ask about your travel back and forth, if you felt scared traveling back and forth, all of that, which we have done in a IGTV on. Your face is not in it. It was before I showed your face. But yeah, so we have that people can refer to, but any feelings you want to share around that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're traveling to Canada for 6 days, is it like really worth it? Maybe because you got to quarantine for 14.
Yeah, like how are you only going for 6 days? I don't understand that. That doesn't sound safe.
Yeah, or makes sense to me.
Okay.
But I mean, if they're quarantining at their partner's house, maybe that makes sense too. Don't know, but
any feelings about traveling back and forth?
Yeah, I think for me, it's less scary than I initially thought it was. And I think traveling is relatively safe. Everyone's wearing masks. Everything's sanitized. Airports have HEPA filters. Planes have HEPA filters. You get a Purell, like pack of Purell when you fly on the plane too. So I think it's relatively safe. Do I recommend doing it? Probably not. Not really. Not at this time, especially since everything's skyrocketing. But yeah, I think if you have to travel, just know that it's relatively safe to do so because of all the protocols in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quarantining sucks. 14 days of isolation is not the easiest.
Which you've done 3 times now?
I've done 3 times now. Yeah.
Yeah, I got him a face shield to wear in addition to his mask in the airport and on the airplane. And of course, this last trip, he did not take it to the airport with him. But yeah, I will not be traveling anytime soon. Not on an airplane.
Road trips only.
Yes. What have you learned about the influencer world that shocked you?
That shocked me. Oh my God, I don't know.
I feel like I know.
What do you know?
I know what shocked you.
You tell me.
Just how, oh my God. Sorry, y'all. I'm like really, my body's falling apart as we record this. It hurts.
27 going on.
Seriously.
45.
Fucking 60.
60? Damn.
Yeah, I think part of what has shocked you is like the marketing piece of how like in my ads, it's like, you know, I'm an object for a brand. Like or maybe that part of the world hasn't shocked you, but maybe like my description of it where it's just like, I'm like very blunt about it. I'm like, yeah, like I'm, you know, an object for a brand to use and like we're partnering together and it's this thing, but at the same time, it's like, it's business.
Hell yeah. I think that's,
I don't know,
maybe less shocking to me. I think the level of consistency that's needed on it is just pretty shocking. But you got to be on it.
All the time. Yeah.
Responsive, responding. Could be a lot.
Yeah.
In my view. I'm just like a normal blue collar 9 to 5-er. So It's a different world.
Super. Is he not interested in monogamy?
I think monogamy could have its place in a relationship. Definitely does. A lot of people are happy in monogamous relationships, but I say, like, you know, also a large part of the population aren't happy in those monogamous relationships and maybe would like the freedom of expressing themselves and their sexuality or their relationship preferences in different ways. So yeah, I think I'm more curious about like the non-monogamous side of life and like non-monogamous relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. They seem more fun. They seem like more genuine at times. They allow for more like expression in your life with different people. And yeah, I think it just seems like a more fun path personally.
Mm-hmm. How would you define the structure of our relationship in terms of monogamy?
I mean, I don't know. I'd say monogamish.
You better know. We talked about it.
No, I'd say monogamish.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty monogamous right now, but, you know, this pandemic kind of makes seeing other people or exploring other relationships a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So monogamous with openness attached to it. That's how I would view it. How about you?
Yeah, I say monogamish. Essentially monogamous right now, but it's an ongoing conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. How was the sex club experience for you? Mm-hmm. I shared on the podcast, you know, my whole experience with being at the sex club. Yep. People want to know from you.
Sex club.
Well,
I've been before.
Yeah.
I've been a few times before. Mm-hmm. So it was a little less novel for me, but going with you is new. Mm-hmm. And it was it was fun because I was sharing that experience with you, and it was your first experience. So yeah, also it's kind of like a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get when you go to a sex club. Like it's a different crowd each time. I think it was just fun to explore and be open with you and do something totally new.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Mm-hmm. I liked it. I think Toronto needs a more modern one.
Yeah.
With better music. The music was terrible.
Or we need to go on a better night.
Or a better night, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not electro night. Or like techno night or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I liked it. I had a lot of fun with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. Favorite habit that Taylor has?
Favorite habit?
Yeah.
A habit.
A habit. Maybe one to think on.
I'll think about that one.
Someone said, just an observation, Zach has such a calm, collected, and supportive demeanor. You do. Oh yeah, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. What question do I want to ask you next? If you speak Arabic, if you've been to Jordan, I think you kind of answered both of those.
Yep, don't speak Arabic, unfortunately.
Yeah. How long have you been vegan for?
3.5 years.
Did you know who I was before hooking up with me?
I did not know who you were.
Yeah. I mean, once we actually hooked up, once we actually had sex, you knew, because we had talked about it. But
when I first met you, I didn't know.
Did you watch the show?
No, never watched The Bachelor in my life. Or The Bachelorette. Mm-hmm. Heard about it, but didn't really know anything about it.
How do you feel when Tay posts more revealing pics? I know some guys would object.
I think again, comes back to like authenticity. I think you look hot. I think you're rocking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supportive of it. Yeah, I think you look like a babe and you're sending out a powerful message. That's my perspective.
Did you listen back to old podcasts to get to know Taylor better? If so, how far back?
No, I didn't listen to old podcasts. Actually, I did. I think it was I can't remember the episode type, but I think it was like your third episode. I listened to it.
Third episode? That's like
on Spotify.
Way far back. Damn.
You also did 100. You hit 100 by the time we met. So
I hit 100.
I did listen to your 100th episode.
This time last year.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 reviews. And 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did listen to that one.
Yeah. Your zodiac sign.
I am an Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Myers-Briggs. Do people care about that? ENTP.
Some people asked about your Enneagram, but I didn't think
really
you knew
know that one.
Yeah. Didn't think you did?
No.
Let me see.
Maybe I'll do that one tonight.
Oh. What are your 4 top favorite things about yourself, Taylor, and us as a couple?
Top 4 things about myself.
Yeah.
One, I think I'm pretty ambitious. Like I have ambitious goals. That's one thing I like about myself.
For sure.
2, live an active lifestyle, and I love that. Like going hiking, climbing mountains, riding bikes, swimming, surfing.
He's a major bike rider.
Yeah.
Like major bike rider.
I love the bike. I miss my bike.
I know.
So that's 2. 3, I'm pretty calm, level-headed, and I like that about myself too. But I'm very excitable. Mm-hmm. Like if I like the idea of something, let's just go do it tomorrow.
That's that Aries, though. You'd be real spontaneous sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
4 things I like about Taylor. I like your authenticity, of course. I like how caring you are, how supportive you are. I like that you're a boss babe, and ambitious. Mm-hmm. Podcast, Instagram, therapy, doing your PhD in sexology. I think that's also attractive to me. Mm-hmm. And then I like that. I like that you're willing to try new things and do different things that might be out of your comfort zone, like renting a van or
and getting a yeast infection and a UTI.
Not showering for 4 days.
So bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm about to bust this dude in the face because he stole our camping site.
Yeah, stole our fireplace site.
You're gonna
go full
and so calm.
Yeah. You said full Baltimore on him?
Yeah, the Baltimore and the Jersey. It was coming out. I was like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 4 things I like about us. I'll do 2, you do 2.
Okay.
I like that, we're in this together, like this COVID time, this crazy political time.
That's one of your favorite things about our relationship?
I like that we're here to support each other. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that, I feel very cared for and supported by you, and that I like supporting and caring for you as well at the same time.
Yeah. For 2, I would say 1, that we objectify each other sexually, and then we always want to attack each other, and then we have a lot of curiosity and safe space and exploration and pleasure in our sex life. That makes me very happy.
Me too.
One of my favorite things about us, for sure. And I would say my second is our balance of listening and communicating with each other. I love how we do work through conflict. I know we're still figuring out the best ways that we want to do that, but it's still is so nice. Like, I do really appreciate how we communicate, and I feel like we are very compatible in that, because it's like, it's so easy to just be around you, and it's so easy to like go through life with you, even though we're like in a fucking pandemic and live in different countries and all the obstacles. But
all the obstacles.
Yeah.
I like that we objectify each other too.
Yeah, I think it's important. Let me see. There are so many good questions. Tips for men to be more into their sensuality and more embodied outside of sex.
More embodied. What do you think they mean by that?
Like more
like embodying
confident
sensuality outside of sex?
Like more like comfortable within their body, more empowered within their body, experiencing less shame and more like acceptance and embracing of their bodies outside of sex. That was good.
That's a good one.
She came with that question.
She did come. I'm going to think of an answer.
Yeah.
Can't leave Kiki on a limb there.
Thoughts on emotional maturity among men, specifically in relationships. I feel like your social group in general is like very mature.
Yeah.
Canadians.
Yeah. I think we are pretty mature. I wonder how that comes to be. I think a lot of it is environmental, I gotta say. I think it's like who you look up to, who you talk to, the level of conversations that you do have. One thing that I love about my friend group is that, you can ask tough questions to them and they'll ask you tough questions about yourself. Or help you see things in your life that you might not see or that you might be pushing like away, and they bring that forward. And confronting that, I think, forces you to kind of be mature about it to begin with. But then also forces you to think through like, oh, this is happening in my life. And maybe I do need to give this a little bit more time to think over when making a decision or doing something like that. I think also environmentally, like, it's like how you grow up and what's the situation and circumstance that you're growing up in.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. I feel like you'll be excited to talk about this question. Where is your favorite place you've traveled? / places, knowing you.
Yeah, I love Tokyo. I love Tokyo, Japan. I think there's so much to do in that city. I was only there for 2 weeks, and I couldn't see it all because there's just endless things to do. If you're a foodie, they have all types of cuisine for you. Japanese food, I think, is fantastic. And I did go before I was full vegan, so did have fish, and the sushi is unbeatable. And then, you have Mount Fuji. That's not too far. You can just take a train and backpack your way over there and climb Mount Fuji, if that's your thing. That was my thing. So I love Tokyo. Karaoke bars, any bar. Actually, it's like insane. The nightlife there is insane. It doesn't stop till like 5 a.m.
I was very excited to learn that you enjoy karaoke when we did that with Vanessa and Josh. That was super fun.
I think for me, it's like a group. It'd have to be a group thing. Oh, for sure.
For sure. Karaoke's always a group thing. Although it could be like a fun date night. So like naked karaoke. They did that at the sex club.
Karaoke, yeah. That's also a group thing too, right? Like it's a little voyeuristic. Yeah.
I just like love singing all the time. So
I think Bali too. I could see myself living in Bali.
Coal farm next to the green school. That's where I would live.
In like a little villa.
Yeah. Okay.
To serve.
I have a few last questions here, all of which I think are such good questions.
My throat. How do you do this? It's a lot of talking.
It is a lot. Do you want some water? There you go. Okay. So these last few questions. Are you intimidated at all by Taylor's strong sense of self? What's it like to date an incredibly powerful, strong, and world-changing woman?
Boom.
Whoa.
Boom. World changing.
Whoa.
You
Girl,
are.
Coming in with the compliments. Like, Thank you.
Yeah. How many DMs do you get where people are like, oh, like you talking about this topic made me see this in a different light, or just following you is, you get so much of that. Yeah. So you're a world-changing woman.
Yeah.
What was the first question? It was, how do I feel?
Are you intimidated at all by my strong sense of self?
No, I think I'm drawn to it. I think I'm attracted to it. I love it that you are who you are unapologetically. So that's definitely not intimidating.
Yeah. So what's it like to date an incredibly powerful, strong, and world-changing woman?
Well, I feel appreciative. I feel lucky. And I feel like I just want to keep supporting you so you can bring this difference to people's lives. And I feel good about doing that.
You're sweetie. Okay. Last question here. How did you learn to be such a loving and kind partner, especially with masculine socialization? I think that's a fantastic question.
It's a good one.
Like, so good.
It's a good one.
Julia came in with the question.
Yeah,
sorry, there actually is one more question after this.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I think the most seminal moment of my life, like being around women and like maturing, was when I went to the Philippines.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that one.
When I went to the Philippines and I lived in this eco hotel farm kind of thing.
Literally
in the middle of the province of like Pampanga was a province in the Philippines, middle of nowhere.
Are there provinces there? Or are you
like
just being Canadian?
Little provinces, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't go nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Think of it like a county.
No, I know like what a province is, but I didn't know that in the Philippines they referred to them as provinces.
Mm-hmm. Small little provinces.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like that's your Canadian coming on. Are you colonizing the Philippines?
Or maybe they refer to it as like a township or something.
I don't know.
It's a small town anyways.
I get what you mean. Continue on.
And I was there with 3 women, all who were older than I was. I think like by age, but also by emotional maturity too. And all 3 of them were very spiritual and kind people. And just by being around like that feminine presence, like it just makes you approach conflict in a different way. And we were all there for business as consultants, but we lived together there for like 5 months. So we learned things like nonviolent communication.
Like, did you feel like you did communicate in that way previously to that? That like previously to going to the Philippines, that you wouldn't have considered yourself like such a loving and kind partner?
I think I was, but I think that was definitely like a shift for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, I was probably not the most loving, kind partner in university when I was figuring this whole life thing out, right? Like when you're 18 or 19.
Yeah. Usually like
you're not a bad person, but exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was a big learning moment for me.
Yeah.
And then also having strong male mentors has been important for me. Like learning from being able to call friends who are in, committed relationships with kids who have that life experience, seeing how they do it, asking them questions, figuring out like how they approach life and how they approach relationships has definitely helped me in my own life. So learning from others, definitely huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember before we had our first sexcation and I stalked your whole Instagram and found all those photos from the Philippines. And I'm like, oh my God. So wild. I was like, why did I run away from him at Fireside? Oh my God. But I saw all the, like some of the photos with those women, tagged photos because I'm like an FBI agent. And yeah, it was so sweet. And like, they had like, I was full stalker mode here and, saw like the photos that that they had posted of you and like what they captioned. And I was just like, oh my God, they like loved him so much. And like he created like such good like relationships with these women. And that like really warmed my heart. But also like your mom also is like very sweet.
Yeah, my mom's
like even
an angel.
just like in her voice, like she's so sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's so kind and caring and compassionate and
yeah.
Like, yeah, she's a very sweet woman.
Yeah. You are
so she has definitely raised me in such a way.
Such a loving partner. So, last question here.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know.
I have to ask it because I know he's going to listen to this.
What is it?
Why does he like 80s style so much?
Oh, God.
That question's from Rob. For those of you that like actually really follow me and know that Rob is like my chosen father, who has like tormented almost every boyfriend that I've had, was laughing and poking fun at Zach for really liking a black and white like interior design style.
Yeah.
And Rob was like, it's so 80s.
With some color, of course. Some color to it. Yeah. Sorry, Rob, I don't like 80s design. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Just
that's
like
not my style.
Black and white.
Just black, white.
Like me.
With gray and plants and all that kind of stuff. Color.
With a splash of gray, some color.
There. Little accent wall of gray.
I will be very interested to see how our styles come together.
Me too. I think it's going to work.
For sure, a lot of plants.
Oh, yeah.
We counted up. I have 40 plants in this apartment.
That's a lot of plants. I have 12?
Yeah?
Back in Toronto? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned, I guess.
Stay tuned. You'll see what the true color palette of choices.
Yeah. Any last things that you want to share about yourself for people? Or about us? Or about, I don't know, anything?
I think that's pretty comprehensive. I don't know.
It was. We went through a lot of questions. How do you feel? I'll give you a third lesson after this. I know.
But no, I feel good, and thanks for putting the questions out there.
Yeah.
Fans of Taylor, really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to what comes next for us.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I know your favorite question was, do you think Taylor's your person?
I think Taylor, my favorite one was, when's the wedding? Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark.
I didn't ask those.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one asked about pregnancy or like anything like that. I wouldn't put it past. I don't know. I've seen the responses to your stories.
True. Oh my God, no. There was one question actually that I don't think you saw. Oh my goodness. Hold on. It's on here. Did you see this?
No. What does it mean?
I don't know. Well, we got a lot of fantastic questions. We also had some random questions.
Some super random questions.
But yeah, no, I think if you really follow me and if you really like listen to the things that I talk about, like I'm not at all in a place of like, you know, the full mindset of monogamy of like, he's the one, he's the person, my forever person. Or of like, we gotta get married and we gotta have babies. Very, very much happy with where we're at right now and excited to kind of like continue that and see where we go. And I'm like so appreciative that as my body is falling apart that you are so caring and so sweet. And it makes me feel so much better because I feel so guilty about it. And I'm like, I hate it. And I feel so bad that I'm like, just while you're here. But.
Well, you'll heal up soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, thank you for being open to like letting people know more about you and learning a little bit about you and about how you are and our relationship and to hear from you a little bit more. You're not like the most active on social, so I don't think people,
gotta step it up.
Yeah, I don't think people get get a good sense of who you are. Exactly. So.
Well, I'm learning. That's what I'm learning from you, partly.
Yeah.
Got to be active.
Learning from Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney's cracking the whip.
Yes, Courtney, my manager / best friend / everything. Awesome. Well, speaking of your Instagram, I'll ask you like I ask every guest. Where can people find you if they want to like follow up with you?
You can follow up with me at Zach in the Wild. And yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's where you can find me on Instagram.
I'm dying. It's too funny. Okay.
It's mostly Lily now and shots at the Space Needle. But
yeah.
Some other things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, see you later. Let's talk about it, people. How do you usually close this off?
It's always awkward ending podcasts. Yeah, I never know how to. I have an outro that comes on after this, but
perfect.
Usually I'll just say, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you next time. You want to?
I'm good.
Thank y'all so much for asking your questions and for listening with open minds, open hearts, open ears, per usual. And we also have this on video, and I'm not sure where it's going to go yet, but if it's going to go anywhere, it will likely go on Patreon. So you can check me out there, patreon.com/Tamocha. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, try giving my podcast, Miraculous Mamas, a listen. Miraculous Mamas is a safe and inclusive place for you to find a huge amount of educational and relatable information about childbirth and parenting with absolutely everything in between. Each week we discuss important topics, share great resources, hear from experts, and listen to birth stories, all in an effort to bring you reassuring and informative experiences so that you know that you are not alone. That's all on Miraculous Mamas podcast. Look for the podcast link in the show notes or simply search for Miraculous Mamas on your podcast app.